Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
So today we are going to start new chapter Industry, Innovation and Infrastructure. Did you know that 828 million people live in slums today and the number keeps rising? 2.6 billion people in developing world are facing difficulties in accessing electricity full-time. 1.5 billion people do not have access to reliable phone services. Infrastructure constraints reduce productivity. If everyone does just a little bit, we can change the world to a better place for all.
So how can the world solve it?
1. Develop quality, reliable, sustainable and resilient infrastructure. 2. Increase the access of small-scale industrial and other enterprises to financial services. 3. Upgrade infrastructure and retrofit industries to make them sustainable. What can you do is 1. Join a pressure group and participate in campaigns. 2. With friends sponsor a girl child in developing world through primary school. 3. Conserve resources, recycle and reuse. 4. Share the facts to family and friends to encourage the concept of sustainable development. In doing so, this report provided the oft-cited definition of sustainable development as development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. United Nations General Assembly, 1987. Industry, innovation and infrastructure mean develop quality, reliable, sustainable and resilient infrastructure, including regional and transporter infrastructure, to support economic development and human well-being, with a focus on affordable and equitable access for all. Build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization and foster innovation. Goal 9 in action. Explore the targets. A functioning and resilient infrastructure is the foundation of every successful community.
Ma'am, what does innovation mean?
Innovation means to improve or to replace something, for example, a process, a product, or a service. In the context of companies, however, the term needs a definition. The creation of value is a defining characteristic of innovation. So children, why is industry, innovation and infrastructure important?
Developing countries' industries often lack the necessary infrastructure and innovation opportunities to achieve sustainable economic growth. Resilient and quality infrastructure systems will catalyze rapid economic development and increase the standard of living of a country's population. Build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization and foster innovation. A functioning and resilient infrastructure is the foundation of every successful community. To meet future challenges, our industries and infrastructure must be upgraded.
How can we get SDG 9?
Realizing SDG 9 by 2030 will require overcoming resource constraints, building and strengthening developing countries' capacities, and exploring innovative ways to solve development challenges, in order to build resilient infrastructure, promote sustainable industrialization and foster innovation.
Very good, Damien. Target 9.4, by 2030, upgrade infrastructure and retrofit industries to make them sustainable, with increased resource use efficiency and greater adoption of clean and environmentally sound technologies and industrial processes, with all countries taking action in accordance with their respective capabilities. What do you know about Industrial Revolution?
The Industrial Revolution transformed economies that had been based on agriculture and handicrafts into economies based on large-scale industry, mechanized manufacturing, and the factory system. New machines, new power sources, and new ways of organizing work made existing industries more productive and efficient.
Resilient infrastructure means the term resilient refers to the ability of such infrastructure systems, including their interconnected ecosystems and social systems, to absorb disturbance and still retain their basic function and structural capacity. Planning and management of sustainable and resilient transportation systems. The 4 different types of innovation mentioned here, incremental, disruptive, architectural and radical, help illustrate the various ways that companies can innovate. There are more ways to innovate than these 4. The important thing is to find the types that suit your company and turn those into success.
Ma'am, examples of product innovations are Lego has been changing the materials of its famous bricks to biodegradable oil-based plastics. The first electric vehicles introduced in the cars market were also an innovation, and new batteries with longer ranges that keep coming out are also an example of innovation.
Yeah,